I could request Jeff to, do you have slides?
I don't have slides.
You do or do not? Sorry.
I don't have slides, but I'm happy to go to the podium.
As you prefer, you're welcome to stay seated as you wish. Thank you. So, Jeff, of course, is with IRENA, but not, as I learned, in their Abu Dhabi office. He's based out of their Germany office, which, if you look at the solar output for Germany, there are months of the year when it's a third of the Indian output or lower, the utilization of solar. So the seasonality is very, very high for solar.
Well, it seems my slides came through after all.
Excellent.
Although you'll see they're not particularly attractive compared to the others you've seen. Thank you very much indeed for inviting IRENA, the International Renewable Energy Agency, to join you today. For those of you who might not know us, we are an international organization with 160 plus member countries. And on behalf of these countries, we do our best to promote all forms of renewable energy, not only wind and solar, which are the variable renewables I think that are at the crux of our discussion today, but also some other renewables like geothermal power, hydropower, and power from bioenergy, and even marine energy, which can potentially be more stable sources of renewable energy to provide a useful complement. So I'd like to offer today a very brief introduction to our work on innovative solutions for renewable power future. Obviously, how did this happen? I don't know. The slide is not fully advancing.
Maybe it's in stages. Try multiple clicks.
Yeah, it's possible. Yes, that's right. The point I was going to make is better to have the whole thing there. As others have said, the declining costs of wind and solar are creating a great challenge. Solar costs have fallen by 3/4 in the last few years, and they're expected to fall yet again by half. Wind, a less dramatic picture, but still a very challenging picture when you need to generate 60% of energy by 2050 to meet our climate objectives, and yet having a higher share of renewables creates a challenge when the renewables are variable. And so power system flexibility is really the key to meeting this challenge. And to help countries make their grids more flexible, we have published reports. One report is on electrification with renewables, another report on power system flexibility, and the third, the most recent, which I'll focus on today, is innovation landscape for a renewable power future. All of these are available online if you want to learn about some of the possibilities in more detail or enhance your existing knowledge. So the Innovation Landscape Report examines 30 key innovations to transform the power sector. These are not just ideas in the laboratory, but are being explored and deployed in India and other places around the world. They include not only enabling technologies, but also innovative business models, market designs, and system operations. Now, some of the examples of these 4 categories are shown here. I'll just highlight a few orally. In terms of enabling technologies, examples include utility scale and behind-the-meter batteries, electric vehicle smart charging, which the chair has alluded to, and power to heat and power to hydrogen. In terms of business models, on the upper right, you have aggregators and P2P trading, for example. In terms of system operation approaches on the lower left, you have an expanded role for distribution system operators, greater cooperation between distribution and transmission system operators, and advanced renewable output forecasting. In terms of market design, you have, for example, regional markets and time of use tariffs. And together, the enabling technologies and innovative business models, market design, and system operations can make power systems a lot more flexible, allowing a higher share of wind and solar power and reducing total system costs more and more over time. The report shows a dozen examples that combine these 30 options into 12 sort of categories of solutions. And not surprisingly, in this diagram, the potential on the x-axis is partially correlated with cost on the y-axis. But the right solution depends on the system characteristics. Now, the supply-side solutions, shown in black, include reduced uncertainty with advanced weather forecasting and flexible generation to accommodate system variability. The grid flexibility solutions, shown in gray, include innovative operation of transmission and distribution lines to avoid the need for grid reinforcements or reduce the need, regional interconnections and markets, and supergrids to better match supply and demand over large geographic areas. And in terms of the supergrids, we'll be very interested in following the progress of the Raipur-Pugalur current line, which will let more of the wind power in the south serve some 80 million people further north. In terms of the demand-side solutions, which are shown in brown, these include optimizing distribution system operation with distributed energy resources, aggregating distributed energy resources for wind grid services, demand-side management, we shouldn't forget that, and renewable mini-grids feeding into the main grid. And finally, in terms of system-wide storage solutions, shown in orange, we have power to heat, power to hydrogen, and utility-scale batteries. And these options are applied not only in India, but in many places around the world, increasingly so. Thank you very much. If you have further inquiries, please find us or our documents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.